Welcome back, people. We're ready to put this VW badge on. I've done a little mod to it, which I thought I'd show you. Normally they just come with a little pin here, and you press on these little clips, and there's like a rubber gasket, but you can pry them off. And people, I mean, these things, you know, they're a couple of $100s now, and people like to steal them for souvenirs. So yeah, what I've done is I've actually tapped it. You can see there, I've just got a little tap and put a thread on it. I think it's an M6. Yeah, something like that. And it just means you can screw it from the inside, and no one's stealing. No one's stealing nothing. So have a look. I've got the little gasket pieces there. Let me just put this badge down for a sec. So that's your rubber. Little rubber seal, and that just stops obviously water getting in. Once you are washing the bus or you're driving in the rain, you're not going to get water going down there and going straight through the hole. So that seals that up. Then obviously a little washer, and then your little nuts. So we are going to install this. You can see the other thing I've done at the front here is I've put a little bit of Dynamat, or the equivalent. It's actually not Dynamat, but sound didn't know, whatever. Just to stop that, you know, ringing noise at the front. And the other thing I've done also, behind the fuse box, I've actually gone and put some electrical tape just to obviously stop any shorts, you know, coming in contact with metal. Obviously, if the fuse box was to fall off its little mount there's a little clip that clips it in position, but sometimes when you're playing around with it, that can come off. Anyway, that's just a little bit of security. So I figured we might actually put the badge on now. Normally I like to do it right at the end, but I think I'll do it now only because it's going to just get harder and harder once the steering column goes in and the shifter and gear stick. Yeah, it just gets harder and harder. And I've got to put the windscreen wiper motor in as well. So there's a few more little bits and pieces in here to go. So yeah, we'll get moving on this one right now, and I'll just whack this in. Okay, so it gets a little bit tricky to do this with one person. Would be better to have two people here, but you just want to be obviously careful we're not doing any scratching of the paintwork. So we'll just come along like this and make sure that that goes in its spot. Some of these aftermarket badges, the holes don't line up very well, so you've either got to make them bigger or smaller, or not smaller, bigger. Anyway, we'll get one of them in here. So we're going to put the rubber wash on there. It's always difficult to get these things on. And then a washer and a nut. And you don't want to drop these because they're going to fall down in there, and then you've got to fish them out. And that is no fun for anybody. So just take your time and get one on, and make sure you don't cross thread it, which I think I am. So I'm going to back it off. There we go. A good mate of mine told me a tip once a few years ago. He knows who he is. If you think you're going to cross thread a nut onto a bolt, what you can actually do is, instead of just going forward, actually do a couple of rotations backwards and then go forward, and you'll find it'll actually center the threads, and then you'll be successful, and you won't cross thread it and have to do all sorts of tomfoolery and shenanigans. So yeah, it's a good way to do it. These gaskets are very tough to put on because obviously they have to be. And then I've just got a little washer as well, obviously. Oh yeah, this one's not good. I'm not liking this. I have to just wind on the rubber one because it will go on the thread and start winding itself on. And if it sounds like I'm straining, I am, because this is crappy position to be in. I'm obviously trying to put a bit of force on the front of this thing too, but I think we're good now. I've got enough room here to get this one on, hopefully. Double check. And I'll just go and get myself a little spanner. I think you guys in the States call them wrenches. We call these things spanners. I don't know. Everyone's got all sorts of weird things going on. Now, 10 mil. There goes the phone. I will get that later. That is a 8 mil, and I think it's not an 8 mil. It is a 6 mil. Oh, maybe it is a 6 mil. Let's try 8 mil. No, it is 8 mil. Perfect. Right. Let's get number 2 on. And of course, number 2 doesn't want to go on. You can see how they seal up nicely. Yeah, so we've got the top one to go, which, where the hell is it? It's up there somewhere. Oh yeah, there he is, up there. Cool. Get him in, this will be a tricky one. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to need someone. I'm going to need help for this one. Go around the other side. That one's over here. Okay. So I think we might have pulled that one in a bit too much. We did. I've got to back that off a bit. I've got a bit overzealous here. Okay. Yeah, I don't like our chances of success. That one is really hard to get to. My hands are gorilla hands, and there's too many wires in the way. So let's remove you. Like that. And find a thread here. I'm not getting successful. No. Okay, so there's a bit of an issue with that tape. This one's going to be difficult because I might actually tackle the top one. I think the top one might be easier, yeah. Once I get the top one in. Okay, so you can see here, there's the threads and the nuts with the washer, and you can see the little rubber gasket behind the back there. You've got one up the top in there as well. So easy way to put your front badge on, you know, knowing that it's not going to get stolen, and that's the main thing. They do get ripped off, which is, you know, a real pity. But anyway, that's what it looks like finished, all bolted in. Yeah, so really all you need to do, good idea to get yourself one of these kits. That's just a tap and die die set, and you know, you've got obviously all your different measurements and threads and stuff you can use. So you just pick the appropriate one. I think I used the 6mm, you know, and then actually it's probably that one there. It goes in the unit like that. You just turn it on, and you're home and hose, nice and slow. But good little kit to have in your arsenal at home in your shed. You can use that for all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so that's the badge done. I've also put the one-eyed duck in. You can see there with the windscreen wiper disengages. So they've been installed as well. And the disengages, they're obviously only for the Safari models. I can show you those, and they're not cheap. They're actually quite an expensive unit to buy. Where are they? Yeah, there it is, right there. Let's put the light on that, and you can see that one there's ready to accept the linkage for the windscreen wiper motor, which I haven't put in yet. But that's your disengager, and that's obviously different to the original. The original ones look a lot different. If I can find one of those, I'm pretty sure I have a few of them kicking around here. Not sure where they are. Let's have a look. See if, there we go. So have a look at this. You can see the difference. That's an original one from the factory. If you didn't have Safaris, so you can see it's quite easy to operate. It just rotates. And obviously the disengager one, the way they work is you have to pull this out, and at the moment it's in a free mode, and once it gets to a point it clicks, and then it'll actually engage that unit, and off you go. And obviously if you're not using them and you know, you want to tuck them away, you actually pull out on this, which disengages the mechanism, and then you can just slide it across and pop it into the one-eyed duck. Now, one little mod, I haven't done it on this one, but one mod I did on my bus was this screw. I didn't actually screw it into the metal. This one's got silicone on the thread, and I've also put a little bit behind it as well, so that no water can get into the cabin. But what I did with my one, I used a fake head of a screw, but behind the back, I actually got myself a earth magnet, and I ended up scalloping out the rubber, and I used some polyurethane glue, Sikaflex, and I just put the magnet flush with the back of this rubber piece. I'll show you what the magnet look like, because I actually got it off one of these magnets off the back of these lights. So just one of those guys there, one of those little round ones. And yeah, it looks like it's screwed in, but it's not. It's actually just sitting on here with the magnet. So if you know, it's just weight, and it can't move. Even at, you know, 60 miles an hour, 100 k's, you know, it's solidly popped on there. But it just means you can take it off if you want to, and you're not drilling a hole through your steel. So yeah, just one little mod that I wanted to do on my own bus. Obviously this one we're keeping it all original, so you know, that's what they had. And yeah, so anyway, that's done. Other things I've put in here, obviously, since I've last had a video, the original shifter's in, and that's working fine. That all goes through the gears. Steering column's in. I'm still yet to button up all the wiring. I've got to get another flasher, relay flasher unit for the indicators, because if you're running LEDs, you can't run the original flasher because they don't actually blink properly. So these ones at the front have globes in them, but at the rear, I've actually got LEDs behind these guys. Okay, so hence why you need to get yourself a LED flasher, which has actually a secondary pilot light input into it, which goes up to your light up the top there. So what that does is, you know, when you put indicators on or turn signals, that little light up there will flash on and off. Otherwise, you don't have it with the LEDs. So it's a separate little unit, which I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail, and then I can take this one off, put that one on, get that running. Then the parcel shelf can go in. Once the parcel shelf goes in, then I can put the bracket to hold the column, and then the steering wheel can go on, and the horn, and obviously get that all buttoned up and finished. Still waiting for the headlining, but obviously in Melbourne, Victoria now, where I am, we're in stage 4 lockdown, which is a real bummer. So we're not actually allowed to go anywhere. So the upholsterer can't actually come down here to get the roof done. And if, you know, the roof and the sides aren't done, I can't put the glass in. And, you know, can't put the seats in because he's got those too. So I'm kind of at a bit of a standstill. I've just got a few more little bits to pieces to do, and then I'm going to actually have to start moving on to other parts. So for now, that's about all I can do. But anyway, that job's done, and I will see you in the next video. If you like what you're watching, you know, subscribe away, and I'll try and post up a video at least once a week. It's going to be a little bit harder now with this lockdown, but we'll see what we can do. I've got some other bits and pieces I've got to get done for a 1960 single cab ute, so we'll go from there. Cool, guys. All right. See you in the next one.